Hello, my Nomad souls. Welcome to another episode of White Expats. Today, we have a very special guest, Daniela Macias. She's marketing manager for many foreign companies, and she has a guest self-employed permit in Hungary. And we have support her through the application process. So, Daniela, can you introduce yourself? Why did you choose Hungary as your home base?
Of course. Well, my name is Daniela Macias, as Julia already said. I'm from Colombia also. I have 25 years old. And well, actually, I felt like I didn't choose Hungary first. Hungary chose me because I was applying to scholarships to move abroad, to study abroad. And I applied to two scholarships, one for Spain, one for Hungary. I actually got a rejection from Spain, of course, and I ended up here in Hungary without knowing even where Hungary was located on the map. But I came here to study. And I started my study journey. And then with the process, also like before coming, I had a freelance opportunity as copywriter and social media manager for a skydiving drop zone in Colombia. And that opportunity led me later to work with a foreign company in Spain in the same industry. So, so I started to work with them also while I was studying. And that led me also later to an American company in the aerospace industry, which are the both I'm working right now. So one is in the skydiving and another one is in aerospace.
Perfect. So, why did you choose get self-employed permit?
Okay. So it was actually not a very easy decision. When I was graduating from university, a lot of my classmates were applying for work visas. I thought that was the only option to stay in the country working. But I have this opportunity to work as a freelancer for these two companies, and it's a remote job with a good salary. And to be honest, I didn't know what to do then. I didn't even know this self-employed was an option for me because I only thought about like work visa. So I started to look for options on Facebook groups. I started also to ask to a lot of friends if they knew about like digital nomad visa or something like that. And in the road, I actually find a lot of complications because first, like either was very expensive to pay to lawyers so they could give me a consultation and tell me which one was the right path. And then I had to also look for an accountant, and there were also immigration of companies that were giving like the whole package, but it was like over 5,000. And back then I had like kind of a student salary. It wasn't an option for me. So actually, then is when I met you and I found you in a Facebook group when one of those questions, and you gave me the right path. You advised me about what I could do in my position. And that's when I started to like to contemplate this kind of visa. Before then, I didn't have any idea about it. And I think right now there's a lot of students that also have no idea that this could exist. So yeah, that's actually how I decided, and I find out that this one was the best option for me.
Okay. So, how has living in Hungary impacted your life? And did you find the environment supportive for remote workers?
So I actually started first to live in Best Friends, like live and study. And while I was there, I was having this remote job, so it wasn't very friendly back then. Best Friends is a small city. Yes, it's kind of starting city, but also like retired people city. It's very beautiful though, like full of nature, close to the Balaton. But like the maximum time I could work in a coffee was like 2 hours without like being uncomfortable there. So I mostly study like in the coffees 2 hours, sorry, work in the coffee 2 hours or in the dormitory. So it wasn't that remote friendly. But when I moved to Budapest, the thing changed a lot because here you have like a lot of co-working options. You have Starbucks also. And aside from that, you also have a lot of communities. So apart from the co-workings, which are like you have many options where you can also like join the community events, I found groups on Facebook like Women of Budapest or Gonger Budapest also, and through those groups I actually like first made networking in the co-workings, and also through the groups I could like create friendships, which was something that I couldn't have because I was like on a remote job without it was not a 9 to 5, not a corporate job where you can go to the office and interact with people. It's very different. So I think these kind of communities like were the key for me to keep up.
So, what challenges have you faced when you started your business here in Hungary?
So, like many of them, like the first of them was that I wasn't familiar with the concept of co-working before, so I was working from home. And like my home turned into my workplace. It was not anymore a place where I could rest. So, you know, my partner then and now, he has a 9 to 5. So when he was coming back to work, he was expecting to rest at home, and I was actually expecting to go out to unwind from work. So it was very different dynamics then. And second of all, also I couldn't make any friends, so I was feeling very lonely. In a 9 to 5, you interact with people, you have the chance to make friends, to kind of step aside of your home. That actually led me to the third complication, which was I started to doubt about my skills, about if I was being productive or not, and also about if I choose the right path. Because I thought, I mean, it was a big jump. I at first was in a corporate for many years, like different corporations, but advertisement agencies at the end. So I felt like I made very good friendships then. And then I started to study, and somehow I also made friends while I was studying, and then to be completely alone. So I felt like that loneliness make me doubt about if I was doing the right thing. If maybe a 9 to 5 will be better for my type of personality, because I will have to force myself to interact, and it kind of will be easy. It is the way, it is the path that is built for. So yes, like that. I feel like the way I could overcome all of those stuffs was first starting to go to co-working. That was the first step. And forcing myself to engage with people, which wasn't easy and still is not easy. But I could make very good friends like that. And I could also build a very good networking. And I feel like, yeah, working in a company with like co-workers that have the same job somehow helps you to make your daily job easier. But working with people who works in different industries, who have completely different backgrounds, it's kind of more interesting. So you learn a lot. And aside from that, I also, when it comes to my doubting about my skills and my discipline and my productivity, I started to be my own project management, my own project manager. So I look for tools. At the end, I ended up like getting married with Notion. I love Notion, and then I put like all my tasks, all my to-dos for a month, for a year even, with like different process. So like it's pending, it's in process, it's on approval, it's ready. And this is the way I manage my own time. I manage my workload. And also like I started to schedule one-on-ones with my manager, because I also felt like this gave me like a sense of peace, like I was doing my job, and he will also be sure that I was doing my job. For my manager, she's a boomer, and many other managers might be in the world, they also have the trigger that they remote workers are not that disciplined, or they don't have the sense of responsibility, right? So I kind of made sure he wouldn't feel that. And I feel like that helped me, and that still till today helps me a lot.
Okay, yes, today I was discussing with some other freelancers how overwhelming can be this feeling of not being enough, maybe not doing enough, or maybe to be perceived not doing enough in the company. So yeah, interesting that you can use Notion to for project management skills, and yeah, great.
Yeah, I think tracking your work, like it gives the sense of doing, that also, either if you don't, maybe you can feel like sometimes you're overwhelmed with too much work, or sometimes you're underwhelmed, I guess, because you don't have enough.
How freelancers can find those kind of jobs? What platforms do you use?
I know there are platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. When I was studying, I tried Upwork, and I have like a couple of projects with Upwork that helped me to save up some money. But this job in particular that I have right now, it all started with one freelance, and it was a networking. Like it was my colleague back then in an advertisement agency, which recommended to a friend, and like that, so on. That leads me to another person who was in contact with this person, and like that. So I feel like my platform so far has been like, first, have good networking. Second, like trust. I feel like I have a good discipline when it comes to work, a sense of responsibility also, like to show that I'm working and to give results. So I feel like those has been my platforms itself, like trust, good sense of responsibility, and tracking my job.
Okay, great. For those who wants to apply for self-employment, get self-employment permit and moving to Hungary, what piece of advice can you give to them?
Well, I believe the first thing will be identified what's the plan in the short and the long term. The second will be please find either a consultant, a company, or like an expert that knows about the topic and that can picture you a plan or a path that aligns with these goals that you have. And from that, I swear to God, everything is better. So, like, if you have a good consultant, if you have a path that you're sure about because it's aligned with what you want, uh, like after that you have everything figured out. It's just like keep working, also find a good networking, find communities, because like it's a lonely journey, you know. It's just you working remotely. There is no company, uh, I don't know, like helping you to do your visa. When you're on a 9 to 5, that you just have to sign few papers, you have your permit like next day. Just be patient. Be patient, be aware that you might have to do some stuff by yourself, but that will give you a lot of confidence also. And I think like an experience that no one else has or very little people has.
Yes, and an advantage could be that, let's say now your permit doesn't depend on a job.
Exactly. Yeah, that you can change jobs if you want. You can have new clients, different clients. You won't be completely attached to a company. So I feel like it's a journey that is worth to have if that's what you want for your life, for sure.
Okay. So the last question will be, how has living in Hungary impacted your life and what is next in your journey?
Well, in my personal life, I feel like I had a huge character development. I feel like if they will write a series about me, maybe I will be in the fifth season already, because I had a lot of canonical events here, like from surgeries in like Second World War hospitals, in West Rim, to any kind of things that has happened to me. So I have a big character development here. I opened my eyes to different cultures, which helped me first to be more empathic, to question also the things I learned in my country, the concepts I have. I feel like I have this deconstruct a lot of concepts, question others, and also value others more. So that in my personal life, I also like met my half here, so my other half here. So very nice. And in a professional way, I feel like I learned a lot about what I can do. It also gave me the opportunity to have my careers on my hands, to trust the process, to believe in my skills. It gave me a lot of sense of confidence that I felt like I didn't have before when I was on a 9 to 5. I always, I was always feeling like I need that approval. I need those KPIs that they have. I started to put them to myself, on my professional life. That helped me a lot, but also on my personal life. So now I'm my own manager, my own project manager, and I take that from my professional life to my personal life, and it actually helps me a lot. What is next? I don't know, and I have no rush to know either. I feel like after 3 years of living in Hungary, I finally feel more adapted. I'm in that stage where I'm comfortable, and I do not pretend to change that comfort for some time. So I'm just gonna enjoy what I have now with no rush to plan on the future. I have my residence permit for a few years. When the time is coming, I'll figure out what to do next. But so far, of course, I'm not gonna be like close to any opportunity, but I'm happy with what I have, and I'm gonna enjoy this adaptation process.
Yeah, it's really important to feel confident in your own skin, and I'm really proud of you. Congratulations for trying to like fight against any type of tax issue, residence permit issue. Now you have your own company, and in a new different culture and with other languages, like gives you like let's say more experience, and be more prepared to the business environment and so on.
Totally. And thank you, Uli, because actually you do get like offer me a pack of full support that otherwise will take me either a lot of time, and it was very overwhelming to find the right people. But I felt like with your like consultant process, with the professionals you have on your hand, also everything really was so better smooth. And still, like, if I have to deal with taxes, I know there's an accountant that is a professional in the matter, and he's more than willing to help. And the same with other professionals. Like, it was such a complete help, and I wish really more students could know this, because it opens the panorama to what you can do abroad. And these kind of opportunities, that we give them for granted in our home countries. You have these kind of opportunities there for sure, but I feel like moving abroad really, like, makes you feel like you have less chances to grow professionally, and like there is only one career path. But with this kind of information, with this kind of dynamics that we're doing, I feel like hopefully more students and more people who is moving abroad will know that they have the chance, they have the opportunities, just to look for that.
Mhm. Okay, Danny, thank you so much for your time, and see you next chapter. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Spotify as well. Have a nice day and see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.